The list view control is very similar to the grid view control, but without most of the convenient automated quick tasks features. For simple tasks, the grid view control is easier to use, as it automatically provides many of the features you need. However, the list view control can be customized to a far greater extent, making it useful when user requirements demand more sophisticated customization. To begin this lesson, open the Market Trader project from your Sample Files folder. And open quoteadmin.aspx in Design View. You're going to try to duplicate the functionality of the grid view control on this page with a list view control. First, add a list view control to the page above the existing grid view control. You'll find it in the Data category of the toolbox. Don't delete the grid view control, as it contains some useful code that you'll need later. You'll now need to configure your new list view control. Set the ID property of the new control to ListView quote. Now open the Quick Tasks menu of the ListView control. Click the drop-down menu and select Link Data Source Quote. The Quick Tasks menu changes, enabling more options. Now click Configure List View from the Quick Tasks menu. Note that there is a bug in the Quick Tasks menu of the List View control that sometimes prevents the Configure List View option from appearing. If you experience this problem, click Refresh Schema, click No when prompted, select None from the Choose Data Source drop-down menu, and then reselect Link Data Source Quote. The Configure List View option should then appear. If the option is still unavailable, close quoteadmin.aspx and reopen it. So let's now click Configure List View. Although the List View control's layout is entirely controlled by templates, this dialog allows you to generate a basic set of templates to use as a starting point. Click the different options in the Select a Layout box to see a preview of each layout. As you can see, the List View control can handle far more flexible layouts than the Grid View control. In the Select a Layout box, click Grid. And in the Select a Style box, click Colorful. Now click OK. Automatically generated templates are added to your List View control. If you were to test this page, the records from the database would be displayed in the List View. Now let's examine the automatically generated templates. Switch to Source View. The List View control has added a lot of code. Unlike the Grid View control, the List View control requires templates for everything it will display. Find the Layout Template tag. You'll find it about halfway down the page. The Layout template is the template for the ListView control's overall table structure. It contains the basic HTML table tag and the headings of each column. The most important element here is the tag with the ID item placeholder. The item placeholder tag is automatically replaced with the contents of the item template, alternating item template, edit item template, or insert item template as appropriate. Find the item template tag now. You'll find it just before the layout template tag. As long as the user is not editing or inserting an item, this template will be displayed in the item placeholder. The item template uses label controls and the eval method, in the same way as you did in Lesson 6.8. You'll now add some code to format the ListView control's quote date field. Find the quote date label control within the item template tag. Now change its text property to eval quote date, comma, begin curly brackets, 0:D, end curly brackets. Because the ListView control doesn't have a convenient Edit Fields dialog, this is the only way to apply a format to its fields. Data format strings like this one are covered in Session 11 of the Essential Skills course in this series. Now let's test your code. View quoteadmin.aspx in your web browser. Although every alternating row is now formatted correctly, the other rows aren't. This is because you didn't apply the format to the alternating item template. You'd need to do a lot more work to make this ListView control look as presentable as your GridView control. But you'd be able to do it with the skills you've learned in this lesson. In the next lesson, you'll add the same editing features to your ListView control that are available in the GridView control. The ListView control is a lot harder to work with than the GridView control, but it allows far more customization. The ListView control is useful when you want to create an exotic layout that is bound to a data source. For ordinary grid-based layouts, the GridView control is a better choice. If you need more freedom than even the ListView control provides, you could simply generate your own HTML code based on the data, using C#. You could then display it on the page using a literal control. Close your web browser now and close Visual Studio. You've now completed Lesson 6.10. Create a ListView control.